Kelsey Glover, a Florida mother, became the center of a tragic case involving her 14-year-old daughter, Giselle. Giselle's health had been deteriorating due to diabetes, compounded by alleged neglect and withholding of insulin. On the night of the incident, Kelsey drowned Giselle in the family's bathroom, an act that shocked their community. The case garnered widespread attention for its heartbreaking details and the complex interplay of mental health and domestic struggles. This story delves into the background, events, and aftermath of this devastating case, providing insights into the lives impacted and the ongoing pursuit of justice. Aloha, hello bonjour, hola marhaba, hello ni hao, hujambo, namaste. Welcome to Crime Watch Vault. We explore true crime stories, solved and unsolved and intriguing mysteries. We respectfully discuss stories already in the public domain. If you're interested, click the subscribe button to join our community. Let's get started with today's story. Giselle Glover was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at a young age, requiring regular insulin to manage her condition. However, over time, signs of neglect became evident. Giselle's teachers noticed her growing lethargy and frequent absences from school. Reports surfaced that Kelsey had been sporadically withholding her daughter's insulin, despite its life-saving importance. Neighbors and family members observed Giselle's frail condition, but were often met with dismissive explanations when they expressed concern. Medical professionals later testified that Giselle's condition could have been managed with proper care, but the lack of consistent insulin administration led to severe health complications. Witnesses described her as a once vibrant child who had become increasingly unwell in the months leading up to the incident. This period marked a decline in Giselle's quality of life and underscored the neglect that would eventually culminate in the tragic events of that fateful night. The withholding of critical medical care was not just neglectful, but life-threatening, creating an irreversible impact on Giselle's already precarious health. Kelsey Glover grew up in Florida, navigating a challenging childhood marked by financial instability and family conflicts. As an adult, she pursued a career in hospitality, known for her hard-working yet often overwhelmed demeanor. Kelsey was described as ambitious, but struggled to balance her career aspirations with the demands of parenting. Her relationship with Giselle's father was tumultuous and ended shortly after Giselle's birth. Custody battles and co-parenting disputes further strained Kelsey, who took on the primary caregiver role. Friends noted that while Kelsey loved her children, she often appeared emotionally exhausted and isolated. The lack of a strong support network compounded her stress, leaving her to shoulder overwhelming responsibilities alone. These factors played a significant role in the escalating tensions within the household and the tragic outcome of Giselle's unaliving. Kelsey shared her home with a roommate whose presence became pivotal in uncovering the neglect Giselle endured. Initially, the roommate dismissed minor concerns, attributing Kelsey's behavior to parenting stress. However, over time, signs of neglect became undeniable. The roommate observed that Giselle often appeared malnourished, wore unwashed clothes, and spent long hours isolated in her room. Attempts to intervene were met with resistance from Kelsey, who downplayed Giselle's condition. The roommate recalled finding syringes and expired insulin vials discarded carelessly, further raising alarms about Giselle's care. On several occasions, the roommate overheard heated arguments between Kelsey and Giselle, with Kelsey's frustrations escalating to verbal abuse. Despite mounting concerns, the roommate felt conflicted about reporting the situation, fearing retaliation from Kelsey and uncertainty about whether authorities would act. This hesitation highlights a common dilemma in neglect cases, where witnesses struggle to navigate the boundaries between involvement and intrusion. Ultimately, the roommate's observations played a critical role in piecing together the events leading to Giselle's unaliving. The neglect Giselle endured underscores the importance of bystander intervention and community vigilance in protecting vulnerable children. The household tension reached its peak in the days leading up to the tragedy. A heated argument erupted between Kelsey and her roommate, stemming from the roommate's growing concerns about Giselle's well-being. Witnesses reported that the confrontation began when the roommate questioned Kelsey about Giselle's deteriorating condition and lack of proper care. Kelsey, already overwhelmed, reacted defensively. She accused the roommate of meddling and undermining her parenting. The argument escalated, with both parties raising their voices and exchanging harsh words. The roommate insisted that Giselle's health was at risk and threatened to involve Child Protective Services if conditions did not improve. In response, Kelsey became increasingly agitated, deflecting blame and citing her financial struggles and emotional stress as reasons for her perceived shortcomings. Witnesses described Kelsey's behavior during the argument as erratic and volatile, showcasing the depth of her emotional turmoil. The altercation left both parties emotionally drained and unresolved. The roommate's intentions to intervene were delayed, as fear and uncertainty held her back from immediate action. This confrontation marked a turning point in the household dynamic, intensifying the isolation Kelsey felt and contributing to the tragic events that followed. The argument exemplifies the challenges of addressing neglect within interpersonal relationships and highlights the importance of timely intervention to prevent further harm. On the tragic day, tensions in the household reached a breaking point. According to investigators, an argument between Kelsey and Giselle escalated into physical aggression. Witnesses reported hearing shouting from the bathroom, followed by loud bangs and muffled cries. Kelsey, overwhelmed by a combination of stress and frustration, allegedly forced Giselle into the bathroom. Accounts suggest that Kelsey's actions were fueled by a desire to discipline Giselle, but the situation spiraled out of control. Giselle's pleas for help went unanswered as the altercation intensified. The bathroom, a confined space, became the setting for the tragic event that claimed Giselle's life. Witnesses later described Kelsey's demeanor as frantic and unstable, indicating a loss of control during the confrontation. This pivotal moment underscores the importance of addressing warning signs of escalating violence within families. It also highlights the devastating consequences of unaddressed mental health struggles, particularly when caregivers face immense pressure without adequate support. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, Kelsey's actions escalated to an unthinkable act. Investigators revealed that during the altercation, Kelsey held Giselle's head underwater in the bathtub. This act, which lasted several minutes, led to Giselle's unaliving. Witness accounts described Kelsey as visibly distraught during the incident, suggesting a combination of rage and desperation. Giselle's struggle was brief but desperate, highlighting the vulnerability of a child in such a dire situation. The tragic event unfolded in the presence of distressing emotional turmoil, leaving a permanent scar on all involved. The act of drowning reflects a moment of profound loss of control, with Kelsey's mental state playing a critical role. Experts emphasize that such incidents often result from cumulative stressors, mental health challenges, and a lack of coping mechanisms. This tragedy raises urgent questions about how society can better identify and intervene in cases of escalating family conflict to prevent similar outcomes. Disturbed by the commotion, neighbors and the roommate contacted 911, reporting alarming sounds from the home. Call logs revealed frantic descriptions of screams and splashing noises from the bathroom. Emergency responders were dispatched immediately, with callers emphasizing the urgency of the situation. The witness's decision to alert authorities was crucial in bringing attention to the unfolding tragedy. However, their intervention came too late to save Giselle. The 911 calls, later used as evidence, captured the desperation of those who feared for Giselle's safety, underscoring the importance of prompt action in such emergencies. When law enforcement arrived, they encountered a chaotic and emotionally charged scene. Kelsey appeared disoriented and uncooperative, further complicating efforts to assess the situation. Officers quickly located Giselle in the bathroom, unresponsive and showing no signs of life. Authorities noted visible signs of struggle in the home, including overturned furniture and wet footprints leading from the bathroom. The atmosphere was tense as officers worked to secure the area and gather initial statements from witnesses. Kelsey's behavior oscillated between tearful breakdowns and defensive outbursts, painting a complex picture of her mental state. The swift response of law enforcement ensured the scene was preserved for forensic investigation, but the tragedy had already unfolded. Their arrival marked the beginning of a legal process that would seek to uncover the full scope of events leading to Giselle's unaliving. First responders found Giselle unresponsive in the bathtub, her condition critical. Despite their best efforts to revive her through CPR, it became evident that she had been submerged for an extended period. Paramedics described the heartbreaking sight of a young life lost under tragic circumstances. The discovery of Giselle's lifeless body confirmed the worst fears of those who had raised alarms. Investigators noted bruising and other physical signs consistent with a struggle, further corroborating witness accounts of the altercation. Giselle's unresponsiveness marked the culmination of a series of failures to protect a vulnerable child. This moment became a focal point in the case, highlighting the devastating consequences of neglect and unaddressed family tensions. Following a preliminary investigation, law enforcement arrested Kelsey on charges related to Giselle's unaliving. The arrest occurred amidst a flurry of media attention and community outrage. Officers escorted Kelsey from her home in handcuffs, her expression a mix of shock and resignation. The charges against Kelsey included child neglect, abuse, and second-degree unaliving. Authorities emphasized the gravity of the allegations, pointing to evidence collected at the scene and witness testimonies as critical components of their case. Kelsey's arrest marked the start of a complex legal process, with her mental state expected to play a significant role in her defense. Community reactions ranged from anger to sympathy, with many questioning how the situation escalated to such a tragic outcome. Advocacy groups called for systemic changes to prevent similar cases, urging greater investment in mental health resources and child protection services. The ongoing investigation into Giselle's unaliving has garnered widespread attention, with public outcry directed at both Kelsey and the systems that failed to intervene. Detectives continue to piece together the events leading to the tragedy, examining evidence and conducting interviews to build a comprehensive case. Forensic analysis of the crime scene and autopsy results have provided crucial insights into the circumstances of Giselle's unaliving. However, questions remain about the role of external factors, including Kelsey's mental health and the lack of timely intervention by authorities or community members. Public reaction has been a mixture of grief and outrage. Vigils held in Giselle's memory highlighted the community's deep sense of loss and determination to seek justice. Social media has become a platform for debates about child welfare policies, parental mental health support, and the responsibilities of bystanders to report suspected neglect or abuse. Advocates are calling for systemic reforms to ensure children like Giselle receive the protection they need. The case remains a somber reminder of the importance of vigilance and compassion in preventing tragedies within families. Kelsey's mental health has become a focal point in the case, shedding light on the complexities of parental stress and emotional instability. Experts suggest that Kelsey may have been grappling with undiagnosed mental health conditions exacerbated by financial pressures, isolation, and caregiving responsibilities. This case underscores the importance of accessible mental health resources, particularly for parents managing significant stressors. Early intervention and support could potentially prevent such tragedies by equipping caregivers with coping mechanisms and a strong support network. While mental health challenges do not excuse harmful actions, they highlight the need for a compassionate approach to addressing the root causes of familial conflict and neglect. The case calls for systemic changes to prioritize mental well-being alongside child protection efforts. The unaliving of Giselle Glover is a heartbreaking reminder of the vulnerabilities within families under strain. As we reflect on this tragedy, it is essential to approach the situation with empathy for all involved. Giselle's loss has left an indelible mark on her community, sparking important conversations about mental health, child protection, and systemic intervention. While justice must be served, this case also calls for a deeper examination of the societal factors that contributed to the tragedy. By addressing these issues, we can work towards preventing similar outcomes and fostering a culture of support and vigilance. Our thoughts are with Giselle's loved ones during this difficult time. May her memory inspire meaningful change and greater compassion. Thank you for watching. Please continue the conversation in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can better support families in crisis. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more content. Stay tuned for our next video. Take care and see you soon.